Hello.
No.
Welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast. And Kelly is 27 now. Yay!
Yay.
How does it feel to be in your late 20s? Or how do you think
Wow.
it's
What
going to feel? Because you're not actually 27 yet. But
um to quote the great movie Pride and Prejudice, I have no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents and I'm frightened.
same.
Yeah, so that's how I'm feeling.
Okay.
That's how I'm feeling.
I agree. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's hard.
heavy on the no money and I'm frightened.
Yes.
Just to point that out,
If
to be
anyone wanted
clear.
to just like send me $5,000, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, if anyone wants to, Venmo, Cash App, I don't have Cash App, but Venmo,
I have literally everything.
whatever.
Send me money in any way, shape, or form you want to,
Yeah,
and I'll get it. Mm-hmm.
you could even send me gift cards. I accept
Yeah.
gift cards for Target, Taco Bell,
Mm-hmm.
Cheesecake Factory,
Yeah, exactly. I don't
Costco.
know if the grocery store does them, but give me a
They
grocery store
do.
one.
They do
Yeah, give
actually.
me a grocery store gift card.
I'll
That'll
take
work
a
too.
Shell Gas gift card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll work
I'll
too.
take one of those too. You
I'll
can
take money
spread
in any
that.
and all forms. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah. If I can buy goods with whatever you give me, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Not that anybody will take us up on that offer, but if you want, if you're
If you
feeling
want to,
generous,
if you're feeling
yeah,
generous. Well, that brings me
just
to
saying.
my question, Kelly. How was your week?
It's all right. I'm getting ready for my trip. So,
Ooh.
yay, getting some new bits and bobs here and there. For all the people who do all of their grooming right before a trip so they look and feel good. I'm gonna get my eyebrows done. Uh,
Fun.
so yep, gonna go down that checklist. I already got my nails done, so that's taken care of. So yeah, I'm looking forward to my trip. I hope this week goes fast because then I will only have a 4-day work week.
Those are always good.
Those are always good. Also, there is a big country music festival going on right outside my work happening this week. And the traffic gets so bad that my work sent out an email saying, hey, if you can work from home, do it. Um,
Can you work from home?
I can't. That's the thing.
They played with your emotions, Kelly.
They played so hard. And what's worse is that the town that I work in, they have for the past like 3 or 4 months have been working on putting two roundabouts into the city. And so they've closed two of the major ways into the city. So now there's only one. And that is a one lane split into two so that we can all like go around it. And then there's construction starting tomorrow on my way to work. So I have to compete with two different construction sites and a music festival that starts on Wednesday.
Fun.
So I might have to leave my house at like 6 o'clock or something. And if I do, I'm going to be like, you know what? Can I just take the L and not come in that day? Please. I have enough time off. I have to leave early that day anyway because I have an appointment. So yeah, can I just take that L and not have to go in?
Why can't they just let you work from home? Why can't you just work from home?
Um, because of the system that I work in, I'm assuming they can't have any like outside.
They're lying to you.
No, I'm just assuming. I've never like tried to,
You should
and it was
ask.
never an option.
You should ask. Be like,
I
hey,
mean, for this time, I probably should because me and one of my other coworkers, we're the only ones that live 40 minutes out. All of my other coworkers live like 15-20 minutes away. And even last year when this festival happened, my supervisor who lives 15 minutes away, who goes home on his lunch break, like even he said it took him like 40 minutes last year to get into work. So I'm like,
yeah, talk to him. Be like, hey, can we work from
yeah,
home?
like bro. Yeah. Bro, can I just at least like answer emails from home or something? Like
Yeah.
I can do that.
I promise not to spill people's secrets. I promise.
Yeah, I won't. I promise I won't.
Just let me sit at a desk in my own house, please.
Dude, I would be I'd be so grateful if I could, if I'm being honest.
When I go out to your house, I'm probably gonna work from your house.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because when's the concert again?
It's on a
That's midweek,
Wednesday.
yeah? Oh
It's on a
shit.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz you're
So
do you did you buy tickets already to come in?
I didn't. I
Okay.
probably
No, I was just
should.
asking. No, cuz I
I
was like, so
prob
what, you're coming in Tuesday night and like whatever.
I was probably gonna come in on Wednesday.
Oh, on Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah. Just like early on Wednesday.
All right.
And then I don't know what I'll do while you're at work. Maybe I'll take an
What do
Uber
you mean?
somewhere. What?
Wait, cuz you would be here Wednesday to weekend probably.
Yeah,
I
most
mean,
likely.
I was probably just going to take the time off
Oh, okay, cool.
that you were
Whatever.
here. So
Whatever.
like, bro, I'm not gonna make you sit around. I'm gonna take the time off. What the heck?
uh, but yeah. Yeah, it's your boss.
Yeah,
He'll probably
definitely
be
gonna
like,
ask.
yeah, let's just all work from home this week.
I would take that. I wouldn't have to wake up early. I wouldn't have to drive in. That'd be a beautiful. I'm definitely gonna have to ask.
hmm
But yeah.
I I feel like I could ask my boss to work from home more than we actually do because I feel like everybody else does it. I never do it.
I mean, why not?
I have one employee. I have one coworker who, I swear, he's every other week he's gone, but working from home. Like he's working from home
Really?
like 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm like, how is that? How is that allowed? Let me get in on
I
that.
mean, dude, do the 3 day at home, so you only have to go in twice a week.
Right? That would be so nice. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything else?
Mm-mm. How was your week?
It was okay. It went
Yeah,
by kind of fast. I was kind of shocked.
that's
Um,
good.
I'm not looking forward to waking up tomorrow. I'm not. I can
Mm-mm.
already tell I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow, and then I'm really not looking. I'm kind of not looking forward to Wednesday, but also am because it's going to be like almost 80 degrees
Whoa.
on Wednesday. So love the heat that's coming in, but also it's going to be so hot, and I want to ease into the heat. Like
So do I.
it's been cold. I don't want to go from being cold to just suddenly being 80 degrees one day.
Dude. So today it was 73. On Thursday, it's going to be 93 degrees.
Oh hell no.
I'm not ready. I'm not.
Just know when I come out there, I will be complaining, and I just need you to be ready for
Oh.
that. I just need you to be ready for that. I will be complaining.
Oh no, do I complain? Like you'll be in good company.
Okay. Because yeah, I'm gonna complain about that heat.
Oh yeah. I don't blame you at all. We do it all the time.
Okay. At least I won't feel alone. Got it.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're good. You're good. I mean, bro, I already have eczema on the back of my arms, and it's only 73. So I be complaining.
Mm, well, I'll be sure to bring some extra deodorant. A lot of sunscreen. I'll be prepared.
Yep.
I mean, I'll have tons of sunscreen left over from my trip to Las Vegas because I will not be playing with that sun. But
Oh
yeah,
no, absolutely not.
like I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna spray like every hour and a half instead of every 2 hours. Like I will not be playing. I will be out in the desert heat all
You
day.
should you should get one of those like UV sticker thingies.
Oh, I should.
They turn clear when you need to reapply.
I don't have Amazon anymore though, so
Mm.
yeah, kind of sucks. But yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, and then the other thing that happened for me this week is yesterday, my cousin and I did a murder mystery thing.
Ooh.
I was supposed to go out and we were supposed to like do it like in her city and like walk around the city,
Mm-hmm.
but my cousins are terrible at planning things,
Oh.
so that didn't happen. And so we did it just like at our houses
Oh, boo.
over FaceTime. We got points deducted for not being near the like locations we were supposed to be at, but we didn't
Oh.
care. We still did the game,
No,
and
yeah, that sounds super fun.
we won. So yay!
There you go.
We found the killer. Great.
Let's go.
So yeah, that was pretty fun. And then yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Okay, Kelly, tell us about this movie.
All right. So this week we are talking about Fool's Gold.
Yay! Also,
Yay.
the I have to make a statement first.
All right, make your statement.
When the first statement, I've never seen this movie before. Didn't even know it
Okay.
existed.
which is kind of like mind-boggling to me because this was during like peak rom-com era,
I've
you know?
never heard of it before.
Mm.
And then when the title sequence or whatever, or like when they like do like people's names and like who's in the movie and who directed and blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
I immediately wrote, "Oh, this is iMovie editing." It looked very
Wow.
it looked very iMovie. It looks like
Okay.
something I would have. It looks like something I would have created in high school for a project.
Damn. Damn.
Especially at the part like right before like I forgot his character's name already. Matthew
Finn?
McConaughey.
Finn?
Yeah, him. When we like first see him underwater,
Mm-hmm.
when they zoom in on that on that island, they like zoom in a little bit at a time and then stop and then zoom in a little bit. It was very iMovie.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. They probably edited this on iMovie.
No idea, dude. Okay. So we start this movie out with a little bit of facts. And it says that in ooh, I didn't write down the date. Why didn't I do that? 1870 something, because I do remember that. $500 million worth of gold, silver, and jewelry sailed from Spain as a wedding gift from the King of Spain to his new wife, the future Queen of Spain. But it was lost at sea in a hurricane. We then see a boat out at sea where two divers are searching the ocean floor. And the old generator that is feeding their little vacuum thing,
Hmm.
it's really old. And it starts sparking and it sets fire to a piece of paper on board. And then that sets fire to the whole boat.
Yeah.
And uh, it starts to burn and then falls to the ocean floor. And that's when they notice that their boat has sunk.
How did they not
um,
notice when the generator sunk first? Because the generator sunk before the
the
boat
Yep,
sunk. How did they not
It
notice
didn't.
that?
I think Alfonso did like turn around a little bit
Yeah,
because there was a little bit
they
of
both
sand
they
cloud,
both looked at it and then they just shrugged and went back
and
to
they're like, "Yeah,
trying
whatever."
to get the suction to work. And I'm like, the suction stopped, and then you saw something. You don't
Right,
think to go back up and check it out. You just gonna sit there and just think it's fine.
right. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it would freak me out because you're not close to shore. You know
No,
what I
they were in
mean?
the middle of the
And
ocean.
yeah, and no one was close to them. So if something did fall, I'd be like, "Whoa, what
Right.
the heck?"
What
But
fell?
yeah, no. They did not notice until their whole boat was under the water.
And honestly, they didn't even notice when the boat was underwater. They went up and they were like, "Where's the boat?"
Yeah, they did notice the sand cloud, and then they went up, and then they're like, it took them a good minute
A good minute.
because Finn had found a piece of plate on the bottom of the ocean floor and was super excited about it, and then they're like, let's get it back on the boat, and they're like, where's the boat?
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Finn then goes down under the water and sees the boat, and he tries to salvage his map with the grid of where they've been searching, but the ink is bleeding. It's unsavable, so he saves a photo of him and a woman instead. We then see two men who were sitting on the beach watching them come to their rescue, but they threaten Finn first before actually helping them. We then see Tess crying in the bathroom of her work. Um, and she's kind of losing it a little bit. And because she's crying, she decides like to mess up her whole appearance, like her hair and stuff like that, so she can, I don't know, look how she feels before fixing
Sure.
herself back up. Yeah, and going to see her boss Nigel, and thanking him for accommodating her situation tomorrow, which she is going to be getting divorced.
Hmm.
We then see Finn with the two men and Big Bunny, who he owes $62,000 to.
Hmm. Do you want to
Um,
know who Big Bunny is?
yeah, if you haven't seen this movie,
Big Bunny is Kevin
uh,
Hart.
yeah, Big Bunny
They
is Kevin
they have
Hart.
Kevin Hart's Nomeo-sized ass playing a gangster.
Yeah, who allegedly murdered another rapper in this
Yeah.
verse,
Am I supposed to be afraid of Kevin Hart? And
named Big Bunny.
in no way, shape, or form am I ever going to be afraid of Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart could
Yeah.
be aiming a gun at my head and I would start laughing because it's ridiculous.
How tall is that man? He's like what,
He's
five
like
five?
5'6", 5'5", five
Okay.
six. He is tiny. He's taller than I mean, he's shorter than my sister. He is
Oh no.
tiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they
Uh,
don't ever have him standing next to Matthew McConaughey, because it would just make him look even
yeah,
tinier.
because Matthew McConaughey is easily like what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah.
Yeah. um, but Finn doesn't care about him owing 62,000 to Big. He just shows him the plate shard that he found and tries to prove to him that the plate is authentic, and it's got this the stamp on the back from Spain and like the architecture of it, whatever. But he's not interested.
Yeah.
Um, and he wants Finn off the island. So
Mm.
Cordell and Curtis take Finn out to the middle of the ocean and tie him to an anchor and try to push him off. But before he is pushed off, Finn tells them to tell Tess that he loves her. And for a moment, it looks like they're going to help him, but they eventually fight him to push him off board. Finn fights back and he manages to steal the gun from Cordell before they throw the anchor overboard. He somehow manages to hold on to the boat.
Hmm.
Um,
He's the luckiest
and
man in the world.
he is, because he's in the ocean with an anchor tied to his feet.
Yeah.
There's no way you're fighting against the ocean and an anchor.
Yeah.
But he does it. So Curtis has to start the boat. And as they start driving, Finn finally loses grip and he is dragged to the ocean floor. He then uses the anchor to make his way to the gun that he dropped and manages to shoot off his chains and swim to the top. We then see the next day Tess is going to leave for her divorce proceedings. And her friends who also work on board, they're like, you know what? Finn probably isn't even going to make it because he hasn't made it to 90% of the things that you ask him to go to. And we do see that Finn is still out in the middle of the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
clinging to a cooler.
Yep.
And he manages to get saved by some party kids on a speedboat.
Yep. Because and they end up going to Key West, and I'm like, that's not Key West. Wherever that was not Key West.
I've never been to Florida.
I've never even been to Key West, but I've seen videos of Key. That was not Key West. I
That
don't
was not Key
know.
West.
I don't
Okay.
know where they were, but that was not Key West.
Okay.
Hopefully, you have a movie fact about where they filmed this, because I don't
I
know.
actually don't.
You don't? Okay, I'll look
I
one up.
don't. I didn't see.
Also,
Yeah. Go ahead.
side note, I looked up. Kevin Hart is even shorter than we thought he was. He is 5'2".
He's 5'2".
He's shorter than you, Kelly.
No, I'm no. We're the same height.
You're not 5'2".
I am 5'2".
There's no way you're 5'2".
Mm-hmm.
Go to the doctor again. They're lying. You're not 5'2".
I'm
You're
well. I'm,
minimum
I'm
like
going on Wednesday. They'll
you're
redo it.
you're minimum like 5'4". You're not 5'2".
Oh
Be for real.
no, Leslie is 5'3". Sabrina's 5'4".
Nah, I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you for thinking that I'm a little taller than I actually am, though. I
You've been
appreciate
lied
that.
to. There's no way you're 5'2". Like that's actually insane.
Bro, I'm Asian. I was lucky to hit 5'2". So, as Finn is trying to make it to the divorce appointment, the judge announces that if he doesn't make it in 10 minutes, everything will be given to Tess. And she immediately starts talking about her regrets of marrying him after knowing him for how long did she say? 2 weeks or whatever. And how she had plans for the future and how they all were messed up by marrying him.
Which is crazy. Like I don't know why people do that.
I don't either.
Like just quickly get married to people they just met. It never works out. I don't
It
know.
never
I don't know
does.
why they would think it would. Also, got it. Got it.
Oh, you did? Okay, where did they
They
film?
filmed this in Australia. I knew that was not
Australia?
Australia. I knew that wasn't Key West. It didn't. First off, it had mountains. Florida doesn't have mountains. uh,
True. True,
so
true,
yeah,
true.
yeah, Australia.
All right. Pop off, Australia. You look cool. I will never visit you though because of your bug situation, but yeah, you
Kelly,
look
grow
great.
up, please, please.
No.
We're
Have you
adults.
seen the size of those spiders? Absolutely
Kelly,
not.
grow up.
No. I will not grow
Yes,
up.
you
Leave me
will.
alone. So when Finn finally does make it, he tries to plead with Tess to not go through with it, but he is then told that it's already been done because he is late by a minute.
Mhm.
So they are now legally divorced.
Him coming in at the last minute and being like, "Don't leave me." No.
Yeah, no.
Once those divorce papers have been signed, my mind has been made up. I'm so sorry. It's too late at that point.
Right. And they were married for what, 8, 9 years, she
Uh
said.
huh.
You've
Yeah.
had 7 or 8 years to say, you know, don't leave me, I'll work on things.
And when her lawyer said it's too late, you're already divorced, I put, I'm very happy that they are divorced.
Yes. um So Tess leaves, and Finn goes to tell her about the plate he found and shows her the stamp from memory from the back of the plate. And she believes him for a second, but when he can't show her the evidence of the plate, she gets upset and says that she's going to Chicago to go back to school and get her degree. He immediately calls bullshit, but she's not deterred. And she's like, I've got a plan. I'm going to sell your boat. I'm going to get the money that I need to go to school. And he's like, actually, the boat is gone. And she rightfully borrows a cane from one of the old men nearby and just whops him on the side of the head and leaves.
It's what she needed to do.
It
But
is.
what she also needed to do was get on a plane to Chicago, go get that PhD. Um,
Yes.
I know she was worried about money, but I don't know if most people know this, but if you get into a PhD program, they pay you to go to college.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really
Hmm.
need, I mean, you'll need some money to like move to Chicago, but
Yeah, for sure.
in terms
But like
of,
the actual program,
yeah, it's pretty much a job
you're good.
where you're
Yeah.
paid to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah, which is great
I'm not
for
saying
those
it's
of
going to
you
be a
who
lot
want to
of,
do that.
yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be a lot of money, but like, it's still
Right.
money.
But it's better than nothing.
Hmm.
So later that day, Tess then researches the plate design and the seal that Finn drew for her, and she finds that he was right. As Finn and Alfonso drink at a bar. Tess then tells Gary and Eddie about Finn and the plate
Wait,
that
that
he
was
found.
Alfonso?
Yes.
Why did I
It
think
wasn't
that
a
was?
random guy at the bar.
I literally wrote, "Why is he talking to this random guy at the bar?"
No, 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 no. That's his friend.
I was like, "Why is he giving him all of this free advice?" I was so confused.
No, 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 yeah. They definitely knew one another.
Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, he's
So
telling him how to like swindle this family and everything. I was like, wow, the people of Key West, quote unquote, are so nice.
you're like, maybe I should go back to this quote unquote Key West if all these
Yeah,
people are so nice. So, as Tess is telling them all of this, she says that they need to get away from Key West immediately because if Finn finds out that Nigel, her boss, is there, he's going to try to find a way to wiggle his way in and use his money to fund his treasure hunt. While this is happening, Alfonso tells him about Nigel as Tess tries to get Nigel to leave. But he says that he's waiting for his daughter to fly to the yacht. Nigel then asks what Tess gets up to, like, when she's not working. And he says, and he kind of reads her and says, and she just replies, my life has been crazy for the last 8 years. I just got a divorce. Like I'm still trying to figure it out. After seeing the chopper like fly over the bar that they're at, Finn follows it as Big, Curtis, and Cordell look for a museum in Key West. Gemma then arrives, and it's awkward between her and Nigel, her dad. And Tess tries to practice her pitch to Nigel with Gary. Gemma then goes off to shop, and as her hat flies off, um, Finn finds the opportunity because he stole somebody's boat, by the way.
he sure did.
And he takes that opportunity to go and save her hat. And as he does so, he gets hit by the boat that she is in, and he gets injured.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gemma. Gemma's bricks.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah.
why did she have to go back after that hat? She was about to go shopping.
Right.
She was like, "We need to go back for my hat,"
We have to
and
go
I'm,
back for that
and I'm
hat.
like, "You're going shopping. Just go get a new hat."
Also, at that point, that hat was so far away from them.
It was like
Like
it
if
flew.
it was closer, then I would be like, okay, like I get it, whatever. But it popped off her head and it flew.
Hmm. And then she wasn't gonna be able to wear it anyway because it was gonna be wet.
Yeah, and it was gonna be wet. So yeah, she just wanted the hat. So Finn is then brought on board for a cut on his head. And after saying that he needs to get back to town, Gemma gets Nigel to convince him to stay for dinner. Big then gets in touch with somebody and tries to convince him to go after the queen's dowry. And I think that's Mo Fitch, but it doesn't look like Mo Fitch at the same time. Tess is still practicing her pitch, and when she goes to deliver dinner, she sees Finn and she absolutely loses it.
Oh yeah, she should have been fired at that point. She started
she
throwing
yeah,
plates at everybody, and I was like, "Girl, are you trying to get fired?"
she threw plates and then just walked off. No
Yeah.
explanation. If I was her and I saw him, I would have just turned around, walked out. You don't. That someone else is gonna have to bring you dinner because I am not about to serve dinner to my ex husband, who I just
Hmm.
saw hours ago. Finn and Tess eventually tell Nigel and Gemma about Mo and their journey to find the Queen's dowry and its whole history, and how um, the King and Queen loved each other, and how their kid or whatever was supposed to drive the boat that had the Queen's dowry on it, and how like there was a whole conspiracy about it when it went down, and how they think it's in this area that they're in. Nigel asked Gemma if she thinks it's a worthy endeavor, and she says yes, as long as Finn agrees to teach her how to dive, which is interesting.
Right, random, but okay.
Very random.
Also, at this
And
point in the movie, I literally wrote in my notes, I'm not rooting for Tess anymore. She
yeah.
she's dumb. I'm sorry. She's dumb. I don't care about her anymore. She's lost all interest from me. I don't care.
She literally, it's because she literally relapsed, bro.
She did. And I'm like, girl, I don't know what to tell you. At this point,
Right.
I can't help you anymore. I gotta let you go. I can't.
Like you literally ruined dinner because of this man, and now you're speaking with him and your history.
Trying to convince your boss to go look for this treasure. I
Right.
I can't. I don't respect you anymore. You've lost my respect.
Yeah, girl. I'm sorry. I'm a girl's girl, but that you got a divorce, and you got a
Yeah.
divorce for a reason.
Why are you trying to help
Hasn't
this
even been
man?
24 hours,
It
right?
hasn't. No, you lost me. Bye.
Right. Right. Figure yourself out and come back. So, the next day, Alfonso is brought on board, and the group then tries to teach Gemma and Nigel how to dive. The group are on their way back to the dive spot where Finn found the plate when Tess finds out that Big owns the island that they are going toward, and she blows up at Finn about it, but he is not bothered.
How does this rapper own an island?
I don't know, dude. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, and musicians don't make that much money. Let's be real.
No, they don't.
Unless you're
They do
like
not.
Taylor Swift, Beyonce, um, Jay Z,
Right.
maybe Kanye West. Even though I'm not convinced he's as rich as people think he is. But I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think musicians make that much money.
Mm-mm. Why do you think they have to keep coming out with stuff?
Why do you think Drake releases 3 albums a year?
Right. He
Do you
stay
think
in that studio.
you think that's the activities of a rich person? No.
Right. Rent is always due for artists,
Yeah,
unfortunately. And then it costs them to go on tour. So, yeah,
yeah.
they're just bleeding money.
Hmm.
So they make it to the close to the site when Gemma announces that there's another boat where they're headed, and it's Mo, the guy who they went to court with about some of the treasure that they had found, and they don't speak to each other anymore. When they get to the site, Finn dives in the water and scopes out where Mo's crew is setting up their grid, and Tess finds out that they're going to blow up some bits to find out what they can find. And when she sees Finn in the water, she has Alfonso try and delay him. Gemma is crying to the crew because Tess quote unquote insulted her for being dumb, which she just was being dumb.
At some
Um,
point, I don't even remember at what point because it could have been multiple points. I wrote
multiple probably.
I wrote in here, Gemma baby, were you dropped as a baby? Because
she
and I truly cannot tell you what part of the movie made me write that.
there were probably multiple times where this happened
Multiple. She is dumb.
because she doesn't keep anything in that little brain of hers. She doesn't
No.
retain anything. She
Not
can't
at all.
jump to the next conclusion either.
I don't know if Kelly's gonna point it out, but at one point she looks at the side of the boat, sees that it's called
Oh, yes, I
the
was gonna talk
something.
about that.
It's called something Jim, and she's like Jim, like
Precious
Jim,
gem.
presses Jim. She's like Jim, like Gemma, and I was like,
You did that
yeah,
unconsciously. He's like, no, I did that with thought. And she's like, no, you did that unconsciously.
you
And he's
did
like,
that unconsciously.
whatever you say, babe.
He's like,
Whatever you say, my darling. So Tess then goes and grabs Gemma, and she uses her as a distraction to Mo's crew to buy Finn some more time. And she does for a second until she points out that Finn is underwater.
dumb. She's like, they're like distract them. She's like, I got it, and then she sees Finn swimming. She's like, oh my god, it's Finn.
Yeah, she does great for like a good 30 seconds, and then it just all
Hmm.
goes downhill from there. So a charge is blown underwater, and they're trying to stop it and be like, hey, no, don't do that. I'll kill him myself. Like, you don't got to blow anything up. And then another guy just sets a charge off because he said that, and that causes Finn to fly out of the water. But before then, he manages to take a sword that he had found underneath the water and throws it to Nigel's boat as he falls onto Moe's. He survives this, by the way.
He does. He survives many things, actually.
Yes. And later, he cleans off the sword on Nigel's while a seaplane flies over the boat that him and Alfonso recognize. At dinner, things are kind of awkward. And when Tess and Finn leave, Nigel asks how Gemma is doing on board. And they kind of connect and they agree to play gin rummy together, which I don't know what that
Don't know
is.
what
I
that
know it's a
is.
card game, but don't know what it is.
That's a white people card game. I don't know nothing about that.
Eh, yeah. Tess then goes to Finn's room, quote unquote Finn's room, and has a heart to heart to him. As Gemma and Nigel have an argument about their family dynamic after they have a good card game, but they she mentions her mom and like how she's gonna cut herself off because she doesn't need him because he doesn't love her, but she
She
can't live without his money.
she can't. She's like, I don't.
So,
She's like, I don't need your money. She's like, I just need it for food. And then she's like,
uh-huh.
and then an apartment
Right.
and
And
clothes
rent.
and rent and spending money. And I'm like, girl, that's everything you need
Right.
his money for.
Right. You need him for life and like period.
Hmm.
We then see that Finn has gone to the mainland and goes to Big's bar and attacks Curtis and Cordell after they have closed. And he gets hit by somebody else and taken to see Big. The guy who hit Finn is Cyrus, who is Big's new chief of staff. And when Cordell asks why, Cyrus just shoots him.
Hmm.
And Big says that they couldn't even handle getting rid of Finn like multiple times, so he needs somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Finn then tries to talk his way out of the situation by offering Big 10% plus the debt that he owes.
He owes
But
$62,000, which is insane to owe someone
mm-hmm,
$62,000.
yeah. But also, can I just say, if Biggs has enough money to own an island, why would he miss $62,000?
I feel like no matter how rich I was, if I gave someone $62,000 and it was expecting a return on that investment, I would want that money back too. I get
Understandable.
it. I get it.
Understandable.
I don't care how rich I am. If you owe me $62,000, I want my $62,000.
Fair, 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 fair. So they negotiate, and eventually Big settles on, if you find the treasure, I won't kill you, which
Hmm.
is enough for him.
Yeah.
When Finn gets back to the boat, Tess is there waiting for him. And when she asks how much money he owes Big, he tries to brush her off, but eventually he admits that he owes $62,000. And when she asks why he didn't tell her, he says that you wouldn't have come to like Florida with me. And she's like, no, I would have come to Florida, just not with you. So the next day, the crew get ready to dive. And once in the water, they start combing the floor with metal detectors. And that continues as they set up multiple grids of where they've been. After a few days of finding nothing, the crew goes to Curtis's bar, which why would they do that? And Tess is bothered by the fact that the Aurelia isn't where like Sebastian said it was in the letters that they had read years ago. But Nigel points out that like if Sebastian lied about everything else in his life, why would he tell the truth about where the Aurelia is?
True.
Um, Nigel's captain then comes to them and says that the boat has been moved because of the storm that is going to hit the island. And something about that triggers something in Finn's brain. And he goes and asks the captain where they have moved the boat. And he says that they moved it to North Beach. And when the rest of them haven't caught up yet, he says that Sebastian could have beached the ship there because they were hit with the hurricane and there's probably nowhere else to go but the North Beach. So that night, Tess and Finn get outfitted in their diving gear and comb the ocean floor around the area where their ship is now, the North Beach. When Tess finds a cannon for the Aurelia, and so does Finn. And when they come to the surface, they celebrate. So the next day, the crew goes to the island and starts to scour the beach and find a bunch of odds and ends. As Cyrus like watches them from the forest, the jungle. Very creepy. And Tess and Finn then decide to go to the church that is on that island to find some older records. As they go back to the boat, this is the point that Jordan and I were talking about.
Yeah.
They worry about Mo finding out where they have moved to when Gemma makes a weird realization about the boat name, which is Precious Gem, and Nigel says that he has named it after her. And she like gets the fact that he has named it after her, but is not convinced he did it purposefully.
Mm-hmm.
He did it unconsciously, which
He did it unconsciously.
yes, and she is convinced, and so he just goes along with it. Finn and Tess then make it to the church and are allowed to go through the records. And Finn gets reminiscent for their marriage, but Tess is like, no, I'm here to go through records. Don't talk to me. So they spend a couple hours there when finally Tess finds a passage about a dead woman named Aurelia that was buried nearby. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's probably Sebastian who buried some of the treasure up here, and it's in the cemetery. And because of that revelation, things get sexual somehow, and so
They
they
have
have
sex in a
sex
church.
in the basement.
Ew.
That's dirty as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. So Finn is looking for the gravestone as Tess loses it because she's like, we had sex in a church, like, and now we're in a cemetery about to dig up a grave.
Mm-hmm.
When she trips over the headstone that they're looking for, Finn digs a hole and finds a barrel, and inside are some personal items from Sebastian and an old diary. And when they read through it, they find the location of the Aurelia, which they determine is a blowhole somewhere on the island. And when they make that discovery, Big and his crew, who have been watching for God knows how long, because it is the middle of the night,
Mm-hmm. It
um,
is.
and Finn and Tess have to fight their way out. And once they are able, they get on their moped and race away. Tess eventually falls off of the moped, and Finn is thought to have fallen off a cliff to his death. Also, the explosion from that moped should not have been that big.
It should not have been that big. But movies love to do that.
Oh
Make giant
yeah,
explosions.
especially early 2000s movies. Oh my goodness. They're all for blowing things up and making it big.
They're like, yeah, this moped was full of lighter fluid and old matches. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it most definitely would have did this.
Um, so everybody believes that Finn has died. No one goes to check, but they all believe it.
They never check.
And
They never confirm the kill. They're just like, well, we don't see him anymore, so he's dead.
he's dead. So Tess is brought to Big, and they go to test out her theory as Finn tries to catch up because the moped hit like the other side of like whatever ravine he fell into, and he fell into the water. So Cyrus and Curtis bring her to the blowhole, and they force Tess down into the hole.
I'm
And when
sorry.
she can't
The word blowhole is so funny to me.
stop, stop. Um, Cyrus forces her down, and she has a rope tied to her. Um, and after searching the little area that she's in, and she says she can't find anything, Curtis is like, "Well, you can't find anything, so we got to get rid of you." So he throws the rope down into the hole,
Which
and
makes the
Curtis
most
doesn't.
sense. Why did he do that? He
I
just
don't
did
know.
that. He just did that just so the movie could make him seem more evil. There was no reason for him to
Oh
just do
yeah.
that.
So, um, Curtis doesn't agree with what he just did, and so he pulls out his gun on Cyrus. Uh, Tess then notices when the water goes down that there is a little hole where she is, and so she decides to just dive down into it.
A blowhole within the blowhole.
Yes. Um, and she finds the treasure. And as she tries to stay under the water, she accidentally hits one of the chests that's down in there. And as the water blows through the hole, the treasure goes flying out with it. Um, and they do see one of her shoes fly up too, and they just believe that she is dead.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, that's a little more believable though. If I'm being honest,
I
that might be a
mean,
little more believable.
yeah,
Finn then is able to find a phone and calls Mo and tells him about the situation and where Tess and the treasure might be. As Big, Curtis, and Cyrus go to dive, Tess keeps diving back to the treasure and back up to where the little blowhole entrance is. As Nigel and his crew, now with Mo, go to the site. As they're doing this, Big sees Finn running to the blowhole, and he starts to shoot at him. And
there's
Cyrus
no
and
way he would have
yeah,
been
there's
able to.
no way.
He was shooting like a handgun. There is no
Yes,
way he would have been in the middle of the ocean able to shoot at him on top of this mountain or whatever
yeah,
he was on.
no way. That is so far,
It's so far.
so far. He would have needed a bigger gun and a sight,
Yeah.
a little sight to see him. So he Finn is being shot at as Cyrus and Curtis manage to get into the treasure like area, and after as he sees Tess, he tries to keep her underwater so that she'll drown. Finn manages to jump into the hole and find Tess, and he stabs Cyrus and uses his air as Curtis brings a chest up to Big and is told to find out what happened because they see once the water goes through the blowhole that there's blood shooting out with the water.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Tess and Finn then are able to get air from the air tank, and he is able to see the treasure for the first time when he borrows the goggles from Tess. Tess and Finn then exit as Mo and the crew show up, and Curtis brings a harpoon, which he shoots at Mo with, but he is able to take it back, and Finn is able to just be there at the same time somehow and punch him in the face.
Hmm.
Big then goes to get the treasure onto his airplane, but the obviously the chest is old, and so when he goes to lug it up, it just opens and it drops into the ocean.
Why would you touch that with your bare hands? I would be so afraid I would accidentally get a cut and then immediately get sepsis or catch some very old disease that's been lost to
200-year
time.
old disease, and there's no cure for it because no
Exactly.
one's had
Hmm.
it in 200 years. So yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Um so yeah, uh as this is happening, Big manages to get Tess into his plane, and she fights back and manages to hit him in the head multiple times with a huge emerald.
And that didn't
But
affect him that much.
it
Also,
didn't.
why did he kidnap her the second time? I understand why he kidnapped her the first time. I don't understand why he kidnapped her this time.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't needed. I don't know why he did it.
Yeah, it, I think he just did it to do it. If I'm being honest.
Okay, sure. Why not? They've already
Yeah.
made him he's already played by a comically small man, so why not make him comically evil?
Right. So Tess is then knocked out by Big, and he goes to take off. Gemma and Eddie then show up on jet skis, and Gemma manages to take Finn and chase after Big, and he manages to jump and land on one of the, what do I even call that?
I don't know. I know nothing about
It's a
air
seaplane. It's got one of those like
seaplanes.
little leg looking things that you
Yeah.
can stand on.
By the way, we should go jet skiing.
I've never I've never been jet skiing.
If we do what I want to do for my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
um, one of the activities has jet skiing. So, just so you know.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So, Big then notices Finn hanging on to the plane and goes to shoot at him. And Tess wakes up, and as the door is open, as Big goes to shoot at Finn, she kicks him out of the plane.
Also, how many bullets did Big have in that gun?
Too many.
Because
Too many.
he shot at Finn at least 4 to 5 times when he was on top of that hill, and then he shot at someone else, and then maybe that was his last bullet. Let's like be generous and say that was his last bullet when he shot at Finn that
Okay.
last time.
So, but so he is kicked out of the plane by Tess then, and
Yeah,
then he manages to shoot again at the plane.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yikes. Um, don't know. Don't-
Yeah, he totally should have ran out of bullets in that mag and would have had to replace it.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, movie magic and movie guns.
Movie magic, movie logic. Yeah.
Yep. So as he is shooting, as he falls from the plane, he manages to hit the gas tank in the plane, and it starts to lose gas very quickly. So Finn is able to make it in, and he is able to take over from Tess and fly the plane for a little bit. Curtis, who is still moving around in the water, thinks he is rich because he is able to gather up some of the treasure on the ocean floor. But Nigel and his crew are there, and he immediately just gives it up.
I would have threw some of it with inside my wetsuit. You're not taking all of this from me. I'm taking something home.
Let me take something, okay?
Give me a
Please.
couple of these doubloons or some of these pearls, like something.
Right. Something, please. And so Finn then explains to Tess that he has to stall the plane before landing it. Don't ask me why, but
I don't.
that's what he says he has to
Yeah, I don't understand it either. But
do.
okay.
And so Nigel and the crew watch from their boat as they try and figure out how to get to safety. Finn then goes to confess something, but she says to tell her after the crash so that she has something to look forward to. And they kiss and slowly fall to the ocean.
Tess, stand up. Stand
Please,
up.
girl. After touching down a few times, they crash and the boat immediately starts to sink, with Tess making it out first, and then Finn following her a few seconds later.
They should have died. The seaplane flipped over. Like they should have
It
died.
flipped over and then, yeah, it
And then
immediately
immediately
started
sank. Like they should
saying,
have
yeah,
died.
immediately saying, yeah,
Also, why didn't they just jump out of it when it got closer to the water
to the water, yeah.
instead of just
I
letting
don't
it
know, because they
crash?
were literally touching the ocean.
Yeah, they could have jumped
They could
out.
have jumped out, because I know jumping from too high is
Will
the
kill
same as like
you.
jumping onto, yeah, it's like jumping onto concrete. So I mean, they were touching the water, so they
They were
could have,
touching the water. They could have jumped out.
yeah. But yeah, after they both realize that they are safe, Finn asks her to marry him and says that he has learned from his mistakes, but she knows better and
Hmm.
still says yes to marrying him.
Yep, dumb as hell. Like I said, I stopped rooting for her. I don't care anymore.
Yep. Um, some time has passed, and we see that Tess is pregnant, and
Dumb.
we see that Nigel and the crew are there with them, opening up the museum with all of the pieces from the Aurelia.
Why did they all that money they got and they just put it all into a museum? Like
Yes.
what?
I'm sure that was Tess's idea, if I'm being honest.
We've already established that Tess does not make good decisions.
No, she does not.
She just had a baby with a man that she divorced. Like I don't know what to tell you. She doesn't make good decisions.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it.
Ugh, Jesus.
All right, so here are some movie facts for you. Mo Fitch, the character in the movie, is based on a real treasure hunter named Mel Fisher, whose Key West Maritime Museum houses gold and silver artifacts from Spanish treasure ships.
Okay, so everyone, when it's time to like, you know, the rich, we know we know where we're hitting up first.
Right. My second movie fact is that the precious gem is a real boat,
Okay.
and it's a 135-foot sovereign yacht built in New Zealand and designed by Jack Sarin.
Yeah, I know
Its
him.
real
Yeah,
name,
yeah. Jack. Oh, Jack. Yeah.
old Jack, you know. Its real name is Carrie Lee, and
Ew.
it charters for, I know, you should have stuck with Precious Gem actually.
Yeah.
Um, and it charters for 70,000 per week and
That
can
bad?
accommodate up to 12 guests.
Okay. That's actually not bad if you have 12 guests.
I mean, so if you take
Because divided by 12,
70,000,
that's $5,833.33 per
yeah,
person.
yeah.
That's not that bad for
I
a
mean,
week
I
on a
personally
yacht.
don't have that much
I
money
don't
lying around,
either. But if you
but someone
did,
else does.
that's not a bad deal. If you know 11 other people that could go with you.
Right. Okay, I'm not going to make you guess
Okay.
who they originally considered for Finn, but I think
Okay.
it would have been a very different movie.
Okay.
They originally wanted Tom Cruise,
Okay.
but he chose to do Lions for Lambs instead.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
I've never heard of that movie before in my life.
Me neither.
So honestly, it's a it doesn't matter to me because I haven't heard of either of
You
these
didn't hear,
movies
yeah, you
before.
didn't hear Fool's Gold either, so it would have been like a tie anyway.
Yeah.
And here's a movie fact that neither of us are going to understand because we don't know anything about gin rummy.
Okay.
But when Nigel and Gemma are playing gin rummy, they play for a penny a point. And at the end of playing, Nigel owes Gemma $28,000. So he lost 2.8 million points to her. I don't know how the point system works in Gin Rummy,
Yeah, I don't
but it
either.
seems like a lot.
Okay, good for Gemma.
Go for Gemma.
Also, I just looked up this Lion for Lambs thingy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Several things caught my eye.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
First off, amazing cast. Yeah. If it were between the script for Fool's Gold and for this, I also would have picked this.
Oh.
But um, also, I don't know. I've never heard of this movie, so so. Mm,
I haven't either. So
so I don't know if he made the right choice because this movie made no money, pretty much.
I mean, but to be fair, neither did Fool's Gold.
True. Well, he got to work with Meryl Streep, so I'll give him the win. I'll give him the
Oh
win.
yeah. There's a lot of people on this cast.
Yeah, I'll give him the win. He wins.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Fool's Gold did make more money. Yeah.
Okay, Jordan. Here's the question.
Okay.
Is this movie iconic?
No, this movie actually kind of pissed me off, if I'm going to be quite honest.
Was Tess 90% of that anger?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
Understandable.
it was Tess and literally everyone else. Like, why did they just let Finn do whatever he wanted? No, despite the fact that he was like ruining everyone's lives. Like
He
the fact,
he literally got away with everything.
like the fact that Mo ended up helping them. I'm like, why?
Right.
What? Why?
Like he literally took y'all to court. I don't think he would have wanted to talk to you.
No, I wouldn't have. Tess, dumb, dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just all around, everyone was pissing me off. No, no,
Yeah.
not iconic.
Yeah. Not iconic. It's kind of a good time if you're not super angry about it, but yeah.
Yeah. If they had established from the beginning that Tess was dumb, maybe I would have just let it go. But the fact that she kept complaining about him and then
Mm,
went out of her way to go get a divorce. Like she literally
right.
asked her boss to take her
Yeah.
to the Florida Keys to get a divorce, just to not even 24 hours later have him on her boss's boat on an adventure. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Pissed me off.
Yeah. Yeah, fair, fair, fair. So yeah, not iconic.
No.
All right, Jordan, what are your recommendations for this week?
Okay, my first one is Tyrant by Beyonce. That might be my favorite song off of Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I want to get up and dance. It's very much a get on the table song, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Love that.
By the way, I've been listening to Cowboy Carter every single day since it's come out.
So
Every
there's no question about what your album of the year is going to be.
Was there ever going to be Kelly? Who else is going to win? Who else would I
I
be rooting
mean,
for?
true. My bad, my bad.
I will always root for Beyonce. Come on. Um, but yeah, Tyrant, great song. Really enjoy it. Second recommendation is After Party by Don Toliver. Another really fun song.
We
Um,
love that.
would never want to listen to Don Toliver live because he's very obviously auto-tuned.
Hmm.
So I just know he can't sing live. And
Hmm.
I don't go to live shows for people who can't sing.
True.
And then my third recommendation is a little out there. It's Firestarter by The Prodigy. I was watching Charlie's Angels, and this song is in that movie,
There you
and
go.
I really enjoy this song. the The song makes literally no sense, but it's fun, so that's all that really matters.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta like a song because it's fun,
Because it's
you know?
fun. Not every song needs to have a good meaning behind it. Not every song
Right.
has to be thought provoking. Some songs can just be them talking about being a fire starter in a British
Exactly.
accent. Really fun.
Right. Right.
But that's it for me. What about you?
So I have one recommendation for this week, and it is Princess Peach Showtime.
I have no idea what that
Um,
is, but okay.
it's a new game that came out. Princess Peach is the main character, which we haven't seen since Super Princess Peach that came out in like the mid 2000s, and I loved that game. So yeah, I had to get this one too,
Okay.
and so yeah, I love it so far.
Very, very happy
Uh,
for you that you got a Peach game.
yeah,
Or,
I'm
sorry, a
super
Princess
excited.
Peach game.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've been playing recently, and I love it.
Sounds like
Yeah,
fun. Love that for
it
you.
is.
For me, when it comes to games, it I will get obsessed with a game for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and then I won't touch
Mm.
another game for like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I will
Oh,
I'll
okay.
get a new game or I'll go back to playing an old game and I'll be obsessed with it. Like I will literally sit there and do nothing else but play that game for like
Uh
maybe a
huh.
week, maybe 2 weeks, or however long it takes me to finish. I will be obsessed. And then after that, I just won't touch another video game
Oh my
for
gosh.
like a
Okay.
year or maybe more.
That's kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
All right.
I might have to see a doctor about that. That might be like autism or something.
It might be.
We'll figure that out later in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that might be a hyperfixation that we might need to
It
look into.
it might be. Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll do that later.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, thank you so much for listening. Don't
Thank
forget to
you.
follow us on our Instagram. We have a Twitter and oh, don't forget to follow us. We have on social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both at SY2I Podcast. Don't forget to send us your movie requests or your movie stories at our email, sy2ipodcast@gmail.com. Do you enjoy this movie? And if you do, why? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
He just wants to know.
This is giving me like Sahara vibes, but worse.
Sahara.
That other Matthew McConaughey movie, Sahara. You haven't seen Sahara?
I don't think so.
Oh, I can't decide which one dislike more. I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards this movie, but it might just be recency bias.
Maybe. Maybe.
But I remember not liking Sahara, so
Okay.
who knows? If Sahara has CGI, I can't remember, then it's gonna be Sahara.
Okay. Fair, actually.
Very fair. So yeah, if you like this movie, let me know why. Also, why were they if you know like if you worked on this movie, why were they trying to pass off Australia as Key West? Like we have eyes.
I clearly didn't question it because I've never
Kelly
been to Florida.
Kelly obviously does not care about geography at all. She was like she was like mountain ranges in Florida? Yep, that makes sense.
Sure, yeah, that check that box off. That definitely screams Florida.
In swamp country? Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, of course, duh. You gotta have mountains in swamp country.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
Like as if like the only mountains in Florida aren't the ones at Disneyland, like or Disney World, like be for real, Kelly.
Dang.
But yeah, let us know. Also, share us with your friends and your family. Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts with 5 stars.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone have a good week. It's when does this come out? When does this episode come out? This comes out. Oh, April's almost over when this comes out. Yay! In 2 weeks, I'll be on vacation. So fun for everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone get ready for summer. It's a summer to be outside. Everyone be outside this summer.
Go crazy.
get crazy, get wild, whatever else they said
Hey,
in the
I don't
Jersey Shore
remember.
theme song. uh, yeah, it's iconic.
C'est iconic, yeah.
Bye.